This Lenovo laptop is half the price of this Samsung laptop with all the same features and performance. So the question is, which one is right for you? Now, looking at the two laptops, you can see that we obviously have a little bit of thickness here with the Lenovo laptop. Now, what we're looking at here is the Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Ultra versus the Lenovo Yoga Pro 9i. This is a brand new model that they've released in 2024. Now, both laptops come with the Intel Core Ultra 9, 32 gigs of RAM, but one laptop comes with an RTX 4070 and one laptop comes with an RTX 4050. Pretty crazy. You can get this one up to a 4060, but I think you're going to be surprised at the performance that we get out of the laptop with even just the 4050 in regards to how well optimized the laptop is from Lenovo. All right, going back down, you can see that we have more thickness out of the Pro, and it's a little bit heavier. So if you're looking for a laptop that is thin, light, on-the-go friendly, and has a much more professional like MacBook Pro or Ultrabook aesthetic, then the Samsung may be worth the extra cost to you. Also, something to consider is the Samsung ecosystem. If you're somebody who has a Samsung phone, you have a Samsung tablet, it might be worth the extra double the money in order to get the ecosystem that you love. Now, going ahead and looking at the build quality, they're both aluminum laptops. They have very simplified bottom covers, aluminum materials, very well assembled, and great speakers. However, these vents on top of the Pro 9i are not speakers. They're just vents. So keep that in mind. The speakers actually come out on the bottom here, whereas the Samsung, the speakers come out on the side. So the audio experience, in my opinion, is a little bit better on the Samsung. Here's a sample so you can hear it for yourself. Now moving on to the next thing, let's go ahead and take a look at the form factor. They're almost the same size. There's a little bit more chassis on the Lenovo. You can see this little lip sticks out a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ports. On the left side panel, we have HDMI for both laptops and two USB Type-Cs, as well as a headphone jack. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the Lenovo comes with a power adapter, whereas the USB Type-C is the way you're going to plug in and charge the Ultra. So that will take away one of your USB-Cs, and I kind of like having a dedicated power adapter personally to keep my ports free. Now, looking at the other side, you can see we have a full-size SD card reader on the Lenovo and a micro SD card reader on the Samsung. We have two USB Type-A's on this side, and then we have one USB Type-A, as well as a headphone jack. Now, we do have our power button here on the left side, which does not double as a fingerprint reader. With the Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Ultra, we have a fingerprint reader right here on the top to quickly unlock your laptop. So that's a nice little extra feature that the Galaxy Book 4 Ultra has with it. All right, let's go ahead and do an open and close test with one hand, see which laptop opens and closes, as well as has some screen bounce. Both open and close easily with one hand. Had a little shift there from the Lenovo, but let's check out the bounce. Honestly, about the same. Check out the screen flex. Kind of flexy. And almost no flex on the Book 4. So definitely a much more rigid top cover. It's thinner and it's also more rigid. So that might be something that's advantageous to you. Now, something that Lenovo is really promoting here is the webcam. They're saying it's like a 5 megapixel webcam. So let's give a quick sample of the webcam so you can see what those look like. This is the webcam on the Lenovo Yoga Pro 9i. And a little sample of the audio for you as well. This is the webcam on the Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Ultra, and a little sample of the audio for you as well. Now that we have both laptops open, let's consider the display. They both have high resolution. For the Lenovo, we have a 3200 by 2000 resolution display at 60 Hertz. 425 nits of brightness, 100% sRGB, 89% Adobe RGB, and 97% DCI-P3, all at a delta E of 0.79. For the Book 4, we have a 2880 by 1800 resolution at 60 Hertz, 400 nits of screen brightness, 100% sRGB, 97% Adobe RGB, and 90% DCI-P3, all at a delta E of 0.42. So we're gonna have more color accuracy and more color gamut range out of the Galaxy Book Ultra. However, we're gonna have a tiny bit more brightness out of the Pro 9i. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Now, they're both touchscreen laptops. If you're looking for some extra screen real estate, definitely check out the Lenovo L15 if you're on the go. But if you're in office, I definitely recommend the Lenovo 34-inch curved monitor, the G34W. 34W. Now, both of these monitors are a good price point and a good build quality, as well as screen resolution. And they have the simple features that make them great buys. Now, I know everybody's on a budget, so that's why I pick out these two monitors to showcase to you guys as great options for additional screen real estate. The L15 is a full HD 1920 by 1080 resolution. It receives power through the USB display port, so you don't have to plug it into the wall, which makes it super on-the-go friendly. It has a fold-out stand, so you don't have to carry any extra tools or gadgets or stands with you. It's built in. And it has pass-through power, so you can charge your other devices from the screen when it's plugged into your computer. On top of that, it has a good brightness of 243 nits. Now, if you're looking for something larger to be in your office, definitely check out the G34W. This is a WQHD display, meaning it's the step between 1080p and 4K. So nice high resolution. It has a 170 Hertz overdrive refresh rate. If you're a creator needing color accuracy, not to worry. It has a 100% sRGB and 93% DCI-P3. It's super easy to set up. Tilts, raises, and lowers to get the exact viewing angle that you're looking for. And as I mentioned earlier, both of these monitors have a great price point. Definitely check out the links in the description below for the live pricing. And if you do make a purchase, of course, I will get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. But that's what keeps this channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. Okay, now let's look at the keyboards. We have a very classic medium key travel keyboard on the Yoga Pro 9i, numpad on the right side, and the trackpad is shifted over to the left. Same thing as we have on the Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Ultra. Trackpad shifted to the left. We have the numpad on the right side. However, the trackpads are going to be a tiny bit different. You can see here that they're almost the same size, exact same width, but the Samsung is a little bit taller. Now the click is something that's very intriguing. It's not something I've been able to find a really close matchup yet. For the Galaxy Book 4 Ultra, it's a very quiet, almost haptic trackpad-like click. For the Pro 9i, it feels a little bit more like that manual trackpad. It has a little bit more dip when it clicks, except it's very quiet as well. Now, choosing between these two keyboards, we have medium key travel versus the much more shorter Ultrabook key travel. It really depends on your preference. Here's a sample of me using both the keyboards and the trackpad so you can hear what they sound like, and hopefully they'll help you a little bit more making your decision. Now, as far as the keyboards are concerned, they both have the Windows Copilot button, so that's a new fancy feature. I am not a huge Copilot user at the moment. I haven't integrated it into all of my workflows. However, I am a fan of using ChatGPT when I'm developing scripts and just really refining my writing skills. All right, let's talk about the battery life. This is a really big one, okay? Remember, we have Intel Core Ultra 9, 185H, 32 gigs of RAM, but different GPUs. For the Yoga Pro 9i, we're getting a streaming video playback battery life of 8 hours and 47 minutes. For the Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Ultra, we're getting 11 hours and 35 minutes. So you're gonna see a better battery life out of the Book 4 Ultra. 76 watt hour battery on the Book 4 Ultra versus an 84 watt hour battery on the Yoga Pro 9i. Quite surprising. I know, it's the way the cookie crumbles. Now for the upgrade path, this is something that's really cool. These are both nice thin and light laptops, as I mentioned. Now, as is trendy for the laptops of the day and age that we are in, you cannot upgrade the RAM. It's becoming pretty standard on most laptops, especially thin and light Ultrabooks. However, they are both equipped with two M.2 slots. So you have a boot drive that comes in one of the M.2 slots for the laptop from the factory. You can add an additional M.2 drive to both of the laptops, or swap out the boot drive, upgrade both of them, whatever you want to do. The difference is going to be in the fact that we have an SD card reader on the Yoga Pro 9i and a micro SD card reader on the Galaxy Book 4, making it easier to expand your storage and have it completely level with the side of your chassis versus the SD card reader. It'll be sticking out if you're trying to expand your storage. So some people use it as a way to bring in footage. Some people use it as a quick way to expand storage. If you don't want to use like a full, external hard drive, it's really up to you, but those are kind of the key features and ways that people might use the laptop. Taking a look at the Yoga Pro 9i, you can see $1,699. Now, this is the RTX 4050 version, but it's the one I've benchmarked in this review, and you can see it has stellar performance. Now, if you want to upgrade to the RTX 4060, which would give you some lift in performance, it'll be $1,899. But keep in mind, they both have 32 gigs of RAM, so they're both going to be great performers in Photoshop. Now, the crazy thing is, if you switch over to the Galaxy Book4 Ultra, it's going to put you back $29.99. So it's almost half the price to go with the Yoga Pro 9i. Pretty crazy. Now, of course, there are some premium features that really stand out on the Samsung Book4 Ultra. And if you were to buy it from Samsung's website directly, it's going to put you back some extra cheddar. Now, I would see some people considering the Ultra 7, being that it's more of a direct comparison with the RTX 4050 GPU equipped. But the problem I see with that is that you have 16 gigs of RAM. And so actually it's going to perform slightly less in a number of tasks, specifically Photoshop, Premiere Pro Playback. And so really the best bang for buck is going to be the Yoga Pro 9i with the RTX 4050 and 32 gigs of RAM. Links in the description if you want to check the live pricing. I've seen these go on sale recently, so just keep an eye out. And also, if you do make a purchase, I'll get a small commission if you click through those links. Now let's jump into the benchmarks. I'm really excited about this because we're pretty much neck and neck on most of the benchmarks except for one really pivotal section, which could make a difference to a select number of users. Now, as we get into the real world benchmarks, we can look at Photoshop. You can see that the Yoga Pro 9i scores a 6,994, with the Book4 scoring a 6,754. So actually get a better score with the Lenovo inside of Photoshop compared to the Book4 Ultra. Pretty interesting. Now let's look at 3D modeling because it's going to shift the scale the other way. Remember, we have an RTX 4070 where the Pro 9i has the RTX 4050 and maxes out at a 4060. Okay, I wanted to do the 4050 because it was basically half the price of the Book4 Ultra. So looking at it, you can see that both Autodesk 3ds Max, Autodesk Maya, PTC Creo, and SolidWorks, the winner is going to be the Book4 Ultra. Hands down, just as a more powerful GPU. Now let's go ahead and shift our way into video editing. Let's look at the 6K playback. If you're doing 4K video editing with either of these laptops, you'll have 0 drop frames at full quality playback. So that's super awesome. Looking at the 6K playback for B-RAW, we're gonna have 24 drop frames out of the Book4 Ultra and 131 out of the Pro 9i. So both are pretty much neck and neck for B-RAW, which is what I shoot on in my cameras here in the studio. However, when we go to red footage, that's where we see a big difference. About 500 drop frames out of the Book4 Ultra, 3,500 frames out of the Pro 9i. However, if you're going for the budget-friendly laptop, chances are you're not owning a red camera because the red cameras are like 10 times the price of the laptop. So that one's kind of null, but I know people like to see the two different types of playbacks that I run here on the channel. Now, let's go ahead and look at the 4K export. Take a 9-minute 4K clip, put it into Premiere Pro, export it out at full quality YouTube settings. Here, the Book4 Ultra can do that in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. The Yoga Pro 9i can do it in 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Nominal difference, but it definitely is a better performer. Looking at the 6K export time, you can see that the Yoga Pro 9i does it in 20 minutes and 36 seconds. The Book4 Ultra, 19 minutes and 33 seconds. Again, nominal difference. So half the price, just as good a performance, just as many features. The battery life is probably the biggest reason that I would choose the Book4 Ultra. You get about an extra 2-ish hours of battery life out of the Book4 Ultra for streaming video playback. So that would be a big advantage. Otherwise, they both have touchscreens. They both have large trackpads. They both have numpads on the keyboards. We do have a fingerprint reader here on the Book4 Ultra. That's kind of a nice feature. Both have upgradable M.2 drives, webcams, glossy 3K displays. I mean, really, they both have everything you need. Ports are a little bit different. That's really a judgment on your own personal use case. Remember that links are in the description below if you want to check the live pricing or make a purchase. Otherwise, click or tap the screen here for more videos to help you with your buying decision. I'll see you in the next one.